Hello everyone. Welcome to the Seamus O'Connor podcast. I'm your host, as you all know, Seamus O'Connor. Now today we've got an interesting set of guests coming from different backgrounds of the world. I recently read a few books about their lives and struggles that they've had to face, and they've each got something interesting to say. So without further ado, let me introduce Mr. Sergei and Pashka from Grey Bees, Mr. Chaco from The God of Small Things, and even though he didn't give me a name, he's known back in his hometown as the headman from Balzac and the Little Chinese Seamstress. Now, first of all, to provide some context, both Sergei and Pashka are coming in from Ukraine, Mr. Chaco from India, and the headman from the beautiful countryside of China. Here they come. Hello, everyone. Come in and take a seat.
Hello? Oh, what is this? Is this where I speak from?
Yes, Mr. Headman. That's your microphone.
Oh my, quite modern it is.
Come on, Sergei. Let him stay the night at your place. My AC is broken. I promise, we won't have to clean up any more corpses, and we won't take your honey. No, I will not say it again, Pashka. I'm running low on honey, and those blockheads have no manners. Whatever. Hello, how are you, Mr. Seamus?
Oh, I'm doing good, thanks for asking. How was the trip to Ireland?
Not good. I lost a few bees on the way. Quiet, Grage. You have thousands left. The trip was very nice, Seamus. I have to thank you again for paying for our flights. We're not able to make much money back home in Little Starodivka at the moment. Times are tough.
Of course. I completely understand. In fact, I wanted to ask the two of you.
Hello there. Sorry I'm late. I was jumped by a couple of Irishmen a few minutes ago, but I held them off. They thought I was English. I told them I'm Indian, but they were not convinced due to my accent, yes.
Oh my, Mr. Chaco, I'm sorry to hear about that. These Irishmen, they're a little agitated at the moment, I admit. Seeing England do well in the World Cup, it's not the best. Anyway, come, sit, Mr. Chaco. I was just about to ask Mr. Pashka and Sergei, given everything that's been going on, where you are at the moment. And I know this is a difficult question to answer, so no need to answer if you feel uncomfortable about it. But how have you all been doing in the past year?
Well, nothing has changed much since I came back after my vacation. I tend to my bees, it gets cold, then warm, and I let them out. Every once in a while I go to the nearby village and restock on food. Great! Are you stupid? He's crazy, this one. He knows nothing of the invasion. The shelling has gone up tenfold. It is worse than before your vacation. Well, ever since I ordered a pair of Beats, I hear nothing. Very good noise-cancelling headphones. Oh, great.
Well, that answers the question for Sergei, I guess. And for you, Pashka, how have you been doing?
Could be better. As long as I have my boys come and bring vodka, I'm okay. I really try to stay out of everything politically. All I care about is keeping my windows not broken. Also, if I say my stance, I get cancelled.
Oh, there, all right. Let's take a step back and move on to the next subject.
You bloody bastard, Pashka! You! Siding with the enemy? Siding with anti-democracy?
Shut your big fat English mouth! You try to be English, but you have no Indian pride. You English are no better than us. Russia has produced the finest figures in history. Politicians like Lenin.
Oh, that is true. I do like Lenin, yes.
And Catherine the Great, composers like Tchaikovsky. Oh, 1812 Overture always brings a tear to my eye. Scientists, we were the first in space. And you English put beans on toast. Yuck.
Well, at least I side with freedom, with democracy, and with the pursuit of finer education, for I did go to Oxford.
Screw Oxford.
Russian pickles leave a sour aftertaste in the mouth. Yes.
What is this talk of Russia and a situation? Are we not talking of the Soviet Union?
Oh, no, Mr. Headman. You see, you're still living in the past a bit. Here, let me explain. So, basically, Mao's been dead for years.
Huh? No, how dare you speak of Lord Mao in this manner? He is alive and immortal. For that is what the Red Book says, and the Red Book is the truth. Filthy Westerner.
Ah, Jesus. You know what? Never mind. Go on and believe it's 1970, whatever. My God. I thought this podcast was going to have some proper, meaningful discussion, but it's just gone down in an angry spiral. No matter. Let me try to ask another question here. Back to you, Mr. Sergey. How did you like your book written about you? Grey Bees. Did you like it? Were there some things you might have wanted to change?
I don't know. I did not like the first part because it reminded me of the shelling. Did not like the shelling. I did like the part about the bees. When I took them to Venetia, that was pleasant and accurate. All except for the part with the crazy veteran bashing up my car. Crimea, not so much fun, but at least the bees had a good time. It was, I would say, not great when I had to blow up some of them, but I did it for the greater good because the Russians did something to those bees.
Oh, not this again, Sergeich. Your bees were great because they were sick. I know what I saw, Pashka. You know what? I'll let him live in his delusional world. As long as I have my vodka and AC, soon enough. It should be running again in about a week. I don't know, we'll see. You better not live again, Ogrich. I nearly turned into you in that isolation.
Don't worry, Pashka. I stay in Little Star no matter what.
Good man.
And you, Mr. Pashka, how did you see yourself in the book? Did you appreciate its interpretation of you and the events that happened? Or would you be a little more critical?
It was okay. I usually don't read much, but this book most certainly proved just how crazy Grach is. All he told me before leaving and after coming back was that he went to Venetia, then Crimea, then he blows up his bees. What I didn't know is he could have gone back to his wife and kid over in Odessa, and all that crazy stuff with the Russian police in Crimea. I will say though, Grach, you earn my respect. You could have stayed in nice sunny Crimea, you could have gone back to wife and kid, but you returned to Little Star. You are a loyal Tavarish. Maybe Kurkov can write a book about me, about Pashka braving the cold and the shelling of Little Star. That would be an even better read.
Oh, Pashka. Huh? Oh, my bees.
Eh? You want some water? Here you go. You're welcome.
You see, he's crazy. He can understand their language now. I wouldn't be surprised if he started growing wings and turned yellow.
Right. Good response there, Mr. Pashka. Now, on to the god of small things. With you, Mr. Chaco, I'd like to ask. Obviously, a lot of disturbing and unsettling things happen in the story with you and your family, so I won't go into detail on that. What I'm interested in knowing is, how's your pickle business doing? I heard it's started to grow a lot.
Ah, yes, my beloved pickles. First of all, thank you, Seamus, for not asking me about my rather disturbing past. What with everything that happened to my nephews, baby Coach Hammer, that crazy witch, and of course, my beloved Sophie, may she rest in peace. Anyway, after all that, I didn't really see any of them anymore. Not Esther, not Rahel, not my ex-wife. I renounced my Marxist ties, for it caused too much trouble in my life. and so I decided to focus more on my beloved pickles. I stayed in India, moved out of IM&M, and grew my pickle business. I changed the name from Paradise Pickles to Chaco's Pickles, built a factory in New Delhi, and things started to grow. Once I had plenty of profits coming in, I actually went back to Oxford, my real home, and got my Masters of Business Administration. Oxford taught me quite a lot, you know, as I was now better versed in macroeconomics and business management. I was able to open up Chaco's pickle stores across the country and even in the United Kingdom. In fact, there is now a Chaco's pickle shop in the heart of Oxford University's campus. A very nice location, yes. I will say, though, and I know you avoided this question, Seamus, but one thing I liked about this book here is that I seemed to be the comic relief in such troubling family dynamics. And also, it reminded me of my lovely times over at Oxford University.
Shut up, Oxford!
Ah, you bastards are jealous you didn't get the opportunity of a lifetime to attend the world's finest university.
All right. That's a good enough response there, Mr. Chaco. Thank you for your input. Now, my last question goes to our last guest. Last, but certainly not least, the headman. So, Mr. Headman, what was your reaction after finding out everything that happened with the books, with the kids, the seamstress leaving? Just tell me what you were thinking and doing in those moments.
Well, I was outraged.
Mr. Headman, can you adjust your mic a bit? You're quite loud.
Oh my. Like this?
Yep, there you go.
Oh, sorry. I'm not used to such advanced technology. Anyway, I was outraged. Those boys were lucky this book came out after they left my village. Back then, I was too generous. I let them go for being such astute entertainers, and cinema companies in Beijing wanted their talents to be put on screen. They fixed my tooth as well. Had they not fixed my tooth, though, I would have sent them straight to the Red Guard for being reactionaries. And now that I know for certain they are criminals and foreign book readers, I hope that Mao punishes them rightfully so. They were smart little bastards deciding to burn those books, I would say. And the little seamstress, she must be found at once for letting these boys educate her on such evil ideology, words that go against the decrees of the Red Book. I must admit, however, that I miss those boys. They made the best films. I knew, though, that their talents must go elsewhere, for they were making my workers fall asleep far too often, hindering the strength of the collective and Mao's China.
Well, that was a lot. Good response. And still, Mao's dead.
No! I will not hear such terrible lies!
All right. Well, I believe I should end it there. We had some great guests today, and you heard it first from the Seamus O'Connor podcast. Thank you, Sergey, Pashka, Chaco, and Headman for all coming here today. Although arguing at the beginning, were able to answer my questions and give your perspectives on these thought-provoking books. That's a wrap. Thank you for listening, and I'll see y'all in the next episode.